My name is Chris Polzer. I'm the Volunteer and Special Events Manager here at LifeNet for Families. I've been here about 6 years, going on 7 now. My primary function is to coordinate the many volunteers that we have here. I have a database involving probably 1,000 and more volunteers doing various tasks at different times of the year, some regularly, some just once a year. Dining room feeds approximately 200 to 225 meals each day, Monday through, 7 days a week, I should say. The pantry, on the other hand, open Monday through Friday, creates and distributes 150 to 175 food boxes each day. What we do each year is our Postal Workers Food Drive, wherein we make use of about 500 volunteers at 11 different post offices. And that afternoon what they do is when the donations come in by way of the letter carriers from residents, people like you and I, they accept the food, they sort it, they box it, they mark the boxes and stack it on pallets, and then in the end they shrink wrap it. And finally, the following day, Sunday, Mother's Day, it's all delivered here, and we put it away into our warehouse. Pretty fun event. It's hot, it's sweaty, but everybody leaves gratified at having done such a good job. This year, we broke the record again, the 3rd consecutive year, totaling nearly 300,000 pounds of food.
How much?
300,000 pounds of food.
Is that just for your facility, or
just our facility alone?
300,000 pounds of food?
Yes.
From one drive?
From one drive.
So when I see my postman today, I should say thank you for helping people.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, because they that day, well, indeed, it adds a burden to their workload, because they pull up to the various post office branches with their trucks, just laden with bags and boxes of food that have been donated, and they do this on top of delivering their mail on that particular Saturday. So it's a lot of extra work for them. Major special events that I'm involved in is our annual Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. A way that it's a dinner in which we try to provide as much fun as we can for as many different types of people as we can, and give back in a way, and say thank you to our volunteers. Every year we always have a theme. This year was a luau, so everybody got a nice little luau related stuff, whether it be a lei, whether it be a nice floral arrangement. They all get a new t-shirt, a volunteer t-shirt. The dinner was fun because we always have our serious side. We kind of just, have to say thank you to the volunteers, meaningfully, of course, heartfelt. We have dinner. We also have a talent show, these are volunteers, and it's a way for some volunteers to show themselves in ways that maybe we're not familiar. We know each other as volunteers or staff people, but this is a way for, we see some hidden talents, and we had some nice singing stylists this year, I will say. A feature that I introduced was a way for the volunteers to see the staff in a different way than they normally see us. And so we had a hula hoop contest, just a silly kind of way to kind of like show the staff, not to embarrass them, but just to kind of like, they're human too, just like the volunteers.
What group or what individuals have been volunteering here the longest?
Well, in my recollection, I'd say many of the Lutheran churches, because the origin of Cooperative Feeding / LifeNet for Families, from my understanding, is a collaboration by Lutheran churches to make sandwiches to give out to the homeless. Though we're not necessarily Lutheran, that comes to mind also as a longtime supporter is Plantation Community Church, just down the street. They've been very, very good to us over the years. Golly, we've had law firms, we've had delivery companies, we've had companies like American Express, Target, just a whole range of different companies and businesses that and corporations that have wanted to play a part. That, of course, is always, I always say yes. I'm not going to say no, because that could, they get a good feeling from working here, then that could potentially lead to additional support, volunteer-wise, or maybe even financially. So we try to befriend them as best as we can. Well, in my 6 years here and 7 years in Charlotte, working directly, with the homeless, I've come to learn that there's no easy answer and quick fix such as that, because the homeless are each person's reason for being homeless is unique. I've known people who currently have doctorate degrees or own their own business, for example, that are currently homeless, and you had asked me, why am I here? What is it about this job that I enjoy? Well, I think obviously I like the element of helping people. The homeless have so very little. All they have is the present moment, and they're trying to satisfy that moment, get on to the next moment. And a good case in point is eating. When you're hungry, you want to eat, and so that's, as an institution, as an agency, that's what we do. Why I enjoy this job and get a lot of satisfaction out of this is because I'm able to relate to people on a very basic level, almost
Primitive?
very primitive level. Yes, thank you. We've cut through all of the charades and what have you, and there's a need that's presented to me, and it could be a battery for a jam box, it could be a wrench to tighten a wheel on a bicycle, it could be a pair of socks, it could be somebody who just got out of jail, arrived at 5:05, and we're about ready to leave, and they say, I don't have any food. Somebody sent me here and that you could help me. And we get them a box of food, no questions asked, because they're hungry at the moment, and that's what we do. That's what I try to do as a simple human being.
You try to help them in the present moment to get by to the next step.
Exactly. Because in my, say, 12, 13 years of working with the homeless, the reasons are varied, but they're the same. Whether it be drug abuse, whether it be, financial, whether it be mental health. People come to me with a need, and me, I try to satisfy it at that very given moment.
Wow. Chris, thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome.
You all volunteers?
I work mornings, weeks, Tuesday, Friday.